the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Na yakodi etire akohu information chairman asiedu nketia ena ne social media representative obiti say Kevin Taylor almost spreading regarding the Ato Richard Jakpa and Godfred Dame trial saga. We information we started our lawyer Paul Adomotri channel show. Or the two say I can say chairman Asiedu Nketia and Richard Jakpa pushing a certain agenda. That is yen take away from the fact of the case. This is a year for Judge Kwesi na so whether say he lied under oath or the intro on the document so any the enfahu. Whether say Dr. Kese Ato in Ghana ka 2.37 million euros a enfahu. The enfahu ni bebia oye de ofri and say oye NDC. Na sadia yen fanko for it baby ofri that is fanciful. Obi say upset. Obi say enkusiaga. But you bet make say upon authority, propaganda has been working for the NDC from the beginning and inception of this political party. NDC shall say when we are corrupt, when we are chrono, as ye de chichi or mubo money near my me a calabule near my and said the name Tamaklu under NDC. Ayachinatum for stealing boga fosika. I did not go to for 10 years on the run. Now, also, even Victoria Hammer, because one making $1 million. Even their flag bearer was under investigation by one Kasa ne president. And even Flight Lieutenant George Rollins or shares our revolution as the crap on Eju baby no accuse the current top of the NDC say or be very corrupt. Inti sa propaganda yen push a certain narrative na yen fan yen and wepi up sentiment for yen no e ya de omudi dijuma yen go straight to nsema omudi tudwa omo mo Daniel Richard Jakpa and Dr. Kese Ato in case no, to something else. I say what happened in court today during cross examination of Mr. Richard Jakpa where from Loud Silence TV. The NDC social media propagandist, that is Obiti say Kevin Taylor. I say it was he, Attorney General, where a conversation and Richard Jakpa can witness box room. It was he, the Attorney General, who told my brother I am under pressure, and I said that is not my problem. Then he, Attorney General, said the Finance Minister and the President are on my neck, mounting pressure. They want this case to be finished by the first week in May. Or say, Nana Danko Kufado, Efre or no Attorney General, that is statement or claims Richard Jakpa or court. Say, Attorney General, on better said now, no President Nana Danko Kufado, and a former Finance Minister, that is Mr. Ken Furiata, man the pressure. So, on no case by me. Oh, Nana Danko Kufado, no, your lawyer now, on him say, and your prosecutor and determine how a case be. Judges and they determine how a case be. Or say, or move free. Godfred Dame and on cancer or say I Jakpa asked him why first week in May. Then he, Attorney General, said you may not know, but according to the Constitution, you cannot have a by-election 6 months to the general election. And the 6 to general election. This shows that we obi na boni trimpan or chro. Say Dr. Kese Ato election in tea. And Dr. Kese Godfred Dame edin ni isi so say na ombokako we ni seat na by the new patriot party. Of course MPP for will know say the removal and as a court case does not determine how uncomfortable vote. The articulation as not a clear example. Obetima kwako yi obi efri why boni wo court but the same political party number 12 and the identity no debekako di obeti say Dr. Kese Ato in Echi because all over the years kwapo normal to my NDC and to also I say so if I can cooperate with him to get Ato in just 1 month in Nsawam, his seat will be declared vacant and will go for by-election. nti ọba say Richard Akpasankas catch Godfred Dame say your friend is saying obuano na ode atofos nkotum 1 month once a wenwa ni seat ni be den yamba declare ni vacant na omako for by election we asem even by election crap no omukwa in 1 month na nipa na oye den o jail no crap obetima ba san ba be contested. So where is the truth yento aso I say, and I told him attorney general that going for by election in central region, how are you sure you are going to win the election? And a propaganda na eshase. I say, then he said, central region, they are cheap. We will pump money in it and we will win the election. He said, Attorney General, when they win the election, the NDC will come and beg us for pardon and we will use it to get our things through in parliament. In summer, Chairman Asi Debunking through the modus, that is Kevin Taylor, almost propagated to the people of central region here. Enti ansema ese ebusane say almost per seat be in central region. I don't know Dr. Kesa to 14 seats pan is almost fighting for. I don't know because even the majority leader is from central region. How comes from central region? A strong MPP seat. And no more than the new patriotic party against the people of Fanti. Western regional market omusi Western Central Cape Coast Elmina shipping hub ya omusi the first ever, not even in Greater Accra Central region, but omo person yede omo dane the new patriotic party against the Fancies against the new patriotic party. We need sema omo di tudra now ko tie comment na otimu say the propaganda na omo spread ni eye ejuma obi tina ono dey say sansem na omo abo bo ano na eye ejuma. The person does not understand the intricacies of NDC's propaganda. Yeah, go share. Omo say when NDC regain power, they should behave like Pope and Madame Teresa. Okay, Obia Jean Fabrice say when individuals secure a position solely based on their political affiliations and connections rather than true merit and hard work, they risk being manipulated and ultimately losing all credibility. Some of their children, apart say Godfred Dame only nipa oyi jumaden. Look at the law house, 24 years. Attorney General has been briaring abako. Ne enyeren wonkruso onunkwan bae in less than 4 years or didn't any so Godfred Dame ekukrusa building a lasting legacy even in an election year. One shot crapper, let's say Nsem-Pii kra the new patriotic party lose power ono onti dem nche but when wakukrusi we nipa o wakomapa ema ejuma na oye no so that's propaganda here spreading you see then o nipa bonem yento aso o say the AG and the president think they will have their way with this case. The president's refusal to sack Dame is even worsening their matter. Somebody said, Godfred Dame, because of phone call on a Richard Jakwanya anything. Yampamono. One of the best attorney generals at Ghana, Godfred Dame. And the NDC for the Omenisi because of this particular case. Some person made almost saying the reputation. I say Ghana is for Ghanaians. No one can take this country for granted. Ghana is bigger than any group of tribal bigots. Enti Odane the new patriotic party akoyet say win from kwa. Enti e danyame asese delegate for no move away from their can tribe. Eko chusu obi say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Nanka or NDC for be gina so nkrasi no e dey push you strong narrative. Ama as taken in people's minds. This is some of the uphill battle Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia yesterday face. I say I know already that MPP is a political party that doesn't respect the people from Central Region, but I will never fail. It never fails for these. It never falls in to these ungrateful people. In some of my two no. Omeji the Loud Silence TV. And obiti say all can social media. You feel the impo cry a friend saying Kevin Taylor all can social media. And the same thing was the chairman as educator only the people of Central Region focus shy okay for this particular case. Into a man taking away the fact say Central Region for business say 2.37 million euros. Sa ambulance here na ehwe nim no. Yampa. Say Dr. Kisatu for say yes aboni we ana. And imagine tra say free Central Region in the New Patriotic Party pushing this agenda, and the Attorney General, and the Minister of Justice for the whole Republic of Ghana will push this particular agenda. Yenko tie inside information from lawyer Paul Adomochi regarding this same particular matter on how our NDC for on person who push this narrative and destroy the reputation of Godfred Dame, as also destroy the relationship between the New Patriotic Party and the people of Central Region. Mostly on what I determine the way of elections.
Jakpa and his cohorts are trying hard to build up a case that will be sensitive to Ghanaians, completely away from the ambulance. So you see the cases they are building now, using all of these surreptitious things and shenanigans here and there, unknown to Jakpa, that he's actually showing a lot of ingratitude to his brother, the Supreme Court judge. He doesn't even notice that he's showing a lot of ingratitude to his brother. They are now bringing in extraneous matters that Ken Ofori-Atta told Dame that he should jail Ato forcing, that the president said. I mean, how is that connected to anything? Anyway, now they chose three things. Let us mention Ken Ofori-Atta's name, and let us mention the president's name. Maybe people will believe it, because people know that NDC people don't like MPP people. You are asleep if you say that. If you have been listening to Sam George, he will tell you that the collaboration they have in parliament is massive. Some of the names that Jakpa has mentioned are some of the same people who, because they work with the finance committee, and you know that before he became minority leader, Ato Forson was the ranking member on finance. Some of the names Jakpa has mentioned, that they said that these names are people who wanted him incarcerated illegally. Some of those names, because they have daily workings with the finance committee, have understood the role of the minority ranking member. And they are some of those people who have been asking the Attorney General, how is the Ato Forson case going? Because they have been sympathetic to Ato. These are the same names that Jakpa is mentioning, that they said they should jail Ato. Because, you see, they don't know what has gone on behind the scenes. They don't understand it. And they want a story that people will buy. Free SHS, we need it to. We should go on for a long time. Let every Ghanaian of the age of 19 have had SSS education, so that they can easily look at this and say, oh, but what are you talking about? The reason why we have to fight propaganda in our elections, and the British don't have to fight propaganda in their elections the way we fight it, is because the majority of the people, when they look at it, they can tell that, oh, what are you talking about? But here we need to continue to educate people, not because our people are not clever. It is because our people trust politicians. And I want to come to the situation where politicians in Ghana are trusted. That is one of the reasons why I love Nana Akufo-Addo, because he gave politicians a good name. He said that he will do free SHS. Nobody believed it, and he did it. Because of that, President Mahama said in 2020 that I will do free first-year university education, and people believed it. Before Akufo-Addo, if you are a politician and you don't know and you speak, you see how the people kill you. Now, Godfred Dame here is being reported by Jakpa that he said that Ato Forson will be jailed, then there's by-election, and they will go and give Fantis money because Fantis are cheap. Godfred Dame will never say that. Why? Born in Fanti, educated primary school in Cape Coast, lived in Comenda. How many of you know Comenda? Dame lived in Comenda. All his friends are Fantis. Koruzi, Pozo, myself, Bobo. All his friends are Fantis. Oh, in fact, Godfred Dame speaks. In fact, let me not go far. 2020, MPP people were lobbying him to go and be the MP for Cape Coast. And I was asking him that, are you going to say, hey, Charlie, Cape Coast? Yeah, it was considered. The MPP, the top hierarchy of the MPP, was lobbying Godfred Dame that, why don't you go and take the Cape Coast seat? Because you can win it. And it is true, he can win it. Because all his life is Cape Coast. Primary school, at Disadal College, father works in Cape Coast, mother works in Cape Coast, he lived there, Pozo ranking, everything about Godfred Dame is fancy. I think they don't know that. You see, these propagandists, they don't have that information. So they go and cook something and say that Godfred Dame says that fancies are cheap. So if you go there, you can. He will never say that. He will never ever say that. And one of the, if you do a bit of political analysis, like I have been doing and following politicians for a while, one of the places where you cannot buy votes is fancy. Fancy is where you cannot buy votes. There are other places you may be able to buy votes. Some you can buy, some you can't buy. But one of the places where you know that money is not going to give you any votes, it is in fancy land. And people who live in fancy land know that more than anybody else. Under no circumstances, fancies are cheap. Oh, fancies are very proud people. They had association with the Danes. They cherish their history. They cherish their Anumabo history. They cherish the history of Seaku Kosa. They cherish the history of the Big Six starting in South Pond. Fancies are proud of their political heritage. They do not take money to vote. Then, because they are trying to, it's an election year, Central Region is a swing state, so they go and sit down and they have something in their little brains and say, go and say that Godfred Dame say fancies are cheap. The fancies will not be happy, so that they'll vote against MPP. That is their, they don't have manifesto. They don't have campaign team. They don't have anything. Now the campaign is hitting at them. They don't see where the thing is going because, they thought that when Dr. Baumia comes, people will be hooting at him. Oh, go away. The Kenke is too expensive. That's what they thought. Now they are seeing something different. And they are panicking. So they say, okay, let's use Godfred Dame. It's a good example. Let's go and say that it's a fancy. Oh, no. Samuel Nsem-Pii. It's 16 minutes past 10 o'clock. Please repent. Fight the campaign. We'll be covering your campaign. No problem. Once you do the campaign, we'll cover it. Fight the campaign, we'll cover it, we'll deal with it. Stop the propaganda because it might come around to hurt you. Please, Samuel Nsem-Pii. So because you didn't know Godfred Dame's background, I think you are the one who told Richard Jakpa to say those things. I think you are the one. You told Jakpa to say those things. Go back and correct it quickly. So next Tuesday when you come to court, find another story. Try and find another one about Godfred Dame. Look for a proper one. Something that people can deal with. But this is fancy thing. If you hang around Godfred Dame for 3 minutes, he's speaking fancy. If you like, ask the Joy FM people, they'll tell you. If you talk to Godfred Dame for 2 minutes, he's speaking fancy. How is such a person going to say that fancies are cheap? A man who was going to represent his party in fancy land. Please, National Propaganda Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, I beg you, let's move on and do